It's that time of year when I remember how much I love baseball, how much I miss it until spring training gets here. Ballparks, like this one, sit empty of fans, but not a feeling. This game, its anecdotes, the games of catch I played with my dad, and all the movies I've watched about baseball have helped define who I am, not just as an American and a sports fan, but a believer as well. Which brings me to a question I have for you. If life is like a baseball game, should we attend expecting or not expecting a ball to come our way?
Not sure. Neither was I. Until my son started taking an interest in the game. We began making family trips to the local minor league franchise.
Our first game couldn't have been a more idyllic evening at the ballpark. My wife and I took 5-year-old Jordan and his pal, Victor, watched them gorge on hot dogs and snow cones while shaking their hindquarters to every music selection. Had a grand old time. Making the experience even richer was that the boys, who brought their gloves, got not 1, not 2, but 3 baseballs that night. Just when I thought it couldn't get any better, I got to watch these 2 kindergartners, already with 1 ball each, seek out a younger boy and ask if he'd like to have one too. Yep, I just love baseball.
But then came game 2. Another perfect evening at the ballpark, except this time, no foul balls. My little guy was hard to console as we made our way home. How could we have gotten so many balls last time, but none this time? What did we do wrong? Jordan had no framework to understand what I was telling him. That of all the games I've been to in my life, I've never come away with the ball. Most fans don't. The reason we bring our gloves just boils down to hope. But he still couldn't get it. See, his being baptized into blessedness was telling him different from his daddy.
Then came Game 3, the 7th inning stretch. A few nights later, no baseballs. Jordan looked up at me and said, "I've decided that if we don't get a ball, I'm not going to be happy. If we do get a ball, I'm going to be happy."
Well, like a good third base coach, I had a second to decide. Do I send him home or hold him up?
So, put my hand on his little Red Sox hat and I bent down to whisper, "It's pretty wise what you said, son. It is your decision. So, if you wanted to, you could make a different decision. You might decide that since you're here with me, not in bed yet, on a beautiful evening watching a great game, hoping like crazy for a shot at a ball, to be happy anyway. If you choose that, whether we get a ball or not, we still win." He didn't say anything, but his demeanor changed ever so slightly, and I spent most of the next innings silently considering for myself the ramifications of what I had just sold my son. Words from my own life came to mind. If I get this job, if my accomplishments get recognized, if I don't hit traffic, then I'll be happy. In the final inning of that 3rd game, a player threw a ball to me and a teenager snatched it out of my glove. When he saw who I was catching it for, he begrudgingly handed it to Jordan. On our way out, my son thanked the boy, who, sadly, seemed to lament having given up his prize, another opportunity for blessing, left incomplete by regret.
Through attending 3 baseball games, I realized that being happy based solely on whether things work out how we think best is almost as odd to consider as being happy at all, because there's always plenty of suffering and hardship to focus on too. I mean, even the best players at this game fail 70% of the time. And what we count as a blessing, souvenir foul ball, counts as a strike against someone else. But thank God his joy is complete. And blessedness is always going on, whether we take time to recognize it or not. When we do, it's like catching a baseball at every game we attend.